I'm Joni Wickham, co-founder of Wickham James Strategies and Solutions, a public affairs consulting firm here in Kansas City. And I previously had the honor and pleasure of serving as chief of staff for about 6 years to former Kansas City Mayor Sly James. I'm also a mom to a sweet 10-year-old Girl Scout and 2 fur babies. Women's History Month to me means a time to reflect on how far we've come and the work that needs to be done to take us closer to where we need to be. One of the shifts, positive shifts that I've seen is preconceived notions with regard to working moms. When I first took over as chief of staff and I was telling some of the reporters that we worked with a lot that I was having a baby, one of them actually asked me who was going to take over my job because his perception was that if I had a baby at home, I wasn't going to be able to put in the hours that was required of the role as chief of staff. And that was only 10 years ago. We're not talking about in the 1950s. I think we've made a lot of strides in the past decade focusing on the fact that working moms can bring their whole selves to the workplace. I don't look at it as whether or not it has helped or hindered. I look at it as I am who I am, and I have, just like everyone, I have unique attributes because of my lived experience. As a woman leader, I know for a fact that I have been underestimated. And I have shifted my perspective from being, frankly, mad about it to almost expecting it and using it to my advantage. Other people tend to think that I'm not going to come into a conversation fully prepared or fully ready to negotiate. So I tend to have the upper hand in those situations because I've done the hard work before I even get to those conversations. One woman that I sincerely admire is former Mayor Kay Barnes. That woman had to deal with so much during the time and place in which she was leading. Downtown would not be what it is today, and it wouldn't have been what it was in 2011 when we found ourselves in a leadership position. We wouldn't have had conversations about streetcar, a downtown hotel, and those types of things had it not been for, frankly, the courage and bravery that Kay Barnes had to ignite those conversations. I would love to see a point in time where women in the workplace are recognized for everything that they bring to the table. Women have made a tremendous amount of strides over the decades. There's still a tremendous amount of work that must be done, particularly for women of color. I would hope that we all take a minute to think about how we each can use our own power and our own voices and influence to move the needle further. I particularly love the Bridge to Tech program for women because we know that women, particularly women of color, are already underrepresented in technology fields. So I think having those free programs for women in this community like Bridge to Tech, it's really going to help us get further faster.